Hello everyone, welcome back to our course. Today we are going to talk about translator competence. In the field of contemporary translation, the professional quality of translator is ultimately manifested as the professional competence of the translator, or simply referred to as translator competence. Translator competence is the translator's inherent and self-qualified qualities and competence that can meet the requirements of translation practice. Translator's competence equals Chinese and foreign language skills plus professional expertise plus technology. From the equation, we can get the idea that language proficiency and professional expertise constitutes the translation ability of the translator. But the development of this ability often depends on IT technology. If there is no information technology, the translator's ability will be difficult to meet the requirement of the information time. Now, let's look at the three elements of translator's competence respectively. The first one, and the most basic one, is language proficiency, including both native and foreign language proficiency. We will first talk about foreign language proficiency. If a translator's foreign language is not good enough, it is impossible to correctly understand the thought of the original work, let alone grasp the author's language style, characteristics, and thought process. Many mistranslations stem from this. Let's look at this sentence. For the balance of the section, let's speak in straightforward and elementary terms to describe the function and form of the electronic computer. The original translation is, 为使这一节平衡起见，我们将用简单明了的术语来描述这种电子计算机的功能和形式。In this sentence, the word balance means something else which remains and is left over. Thus, the correct translation should be, 在本节的其余部分，我们将用简单明了的术语来描述这种电子计算机的功能和形式。Another typical example is here. 我恐怕会浪费你好多宝贵的时间。Many will translate it as, I'm afraid that I will waste a lot of your precious time. Here, the Chinese phrase 浪费 is used to show modest, not its semantic meaning. Thus, we could translate it as, I am afraid that I will take up a lot of your valuable time. For us Chinese translators, we should also attach great importance to our native language skills. From the comparative study of language, foreign linguistics have discovered that Chinese is a treasure of linguistic expression. The main purpose of strengthening Chinese language proficiency is to improve the starting point of language comparison and the ability of Chinese expression. Please try to translate these sentences into Chinese. Nothing, whether a weighty matter or a small detail, was overlooked. There are many full-character phrases in Chinese. Use them properly can make the translation concise and refined. The translation is here. 事无巨细，无一遗漏。The second competence is professional expertise, which refers to knowledge related to the relevant field of the original text. May it be technology, engineering, legislation, or traveling, in daily translation practice, there are often cases of mistranslation due to the lack of professional knowledge. As we have mentioned in the classification of applied translation, there are many branches in each industry category. and translators generally can only be familiar with their relevant professional knowledge.
中国语言服务行业发展报告近日在京发布。报告显示，2019年全球语言服务产值首次接近500亿美元。互联网技术支持下的远程语言服务活动成为新常态，机器翻译在语言服务行业的应用越来越广泛。在翻译人才方面，“一带一路”沿线国家语种的业务需求相对较大。
The last competence that we need to mention is information technology. With the acceleration of economic globalization, science and technology are advancing by leaps and bounds, and the amount of information is increasing exponentially. The language service industry, with translation at the core, is becoming a new economic growth point. The market demand for translation talents and translation products continues to rise. Information and communication technology has brought a revolutionary impact on translation industry and has profoundly changed and is still changing the environment and methods of translation work. Translators are required to master information technology and make full use of network information resources. The Internet provides people with abundant information and resources, and it also creates a comprehensive information platform for translation activities. Internet resources have become an indispensable helper for translators, saving translators time, increasing efficiency, and improving translation quality. As long as the translator has certain computer skills and network knowledge, he or she can effectively obtain the relevant information resources. Thus, information literacy is of great importance to the translator nowadays. The Internet is the forerunner and symbol of the information age. From the perspective of computer-aided translation, the Internet mainly has three functions: search query, verification, and information exchange. Search query is the basic function of network translation. Most of the problems encountered in translation can be searched through the Internet, whether it is a word, a phrase, or even the discourse and the background information. You can use the search engine, online dictionary, and online corpus to aid your translation. The second function of the Internet is verification. When you are not sure about translation of a word, or when it is difficult to choose between several translations of a word, you can check the frequency of each translation on the Internet through a search engine to verify it. For example, there are two different translations of Chinese phrase, 在历史的长河中. One is in the long river of history. Another one is in the long course of history. If you search them separately, you will get two different frequency numbers. The latter is much more frequently used and is a better translation. The last one is information exchange. The Internet is a perfect platform for communication regardless of time and space. It integrates modern communication technology and computer technology, connects all kinds of information, and constitutes a huge international information exchange and sharing network. There are many ways to communicate online, including bulletin board system (BBS), email, QQ, WeChat, etc. In conclusion, knowing how to apply information technology to translation work is a necessary requirement for a translator. That is all for this class. Thank you for your listening, and see you next time.